You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 225. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
And I'm Jeff Barnard, also known as Fat Rock, Villain Extraordinaire. Nom de Chud. Name the dog.
Oh, okay.
It's a French curse word, of all things.
Oh, really?
A mild one.
I didn't know that. Comic Reflections is brought to you by The Outhouse. You can find our show and other nifty content at theouthousers.com. And if you enjoyed this show, please subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, or on WordPress. It's comicreflections.wordpress.com. I'm starting to use that page again, and I'm super behind on posting episodes, but I'm posting our old stuff on there, and I'll catch up.
Okay, cool.
In the future.
Yeah, okay.
But yes, and
no.
yes and no. I'm sorry, I was drawing a blank. Hey, I like to post speaky wordy things. I like to plug another podcast at the top of the show. Rachel and Miles Explain the X-Men. It's the best damn podcast on the internet. And you should listen to it too.
Okay.
So, but you and I are going to talk about Captain America today. Starting with Tales of Suspense, number 75. Cover dated March of 1966. Cover art by Gene Colan. Pencils, rather. And inked by Jack Abel and Gene Colan. And the cover is, it's for the Iron Man story that would have been in that issue. And it's Iron Man against the Freak.
Yeah, and we just see a cop who just shot the Freak and dropping the girl.
Yeah.
It's
probably Pepper.
Yeah. It's hard to tell. I don't know. I haven't read much Iron Man in this.
We've read some of those, but, we'll get into the essential volumes. We'll do those, so... but anyway, the Captain America story is called 30 Minutes to Live. It was written by Stan Lee, with the art layouts by Jack Kirby, penciled by Dick Ayers, and inked by John Tartaglione.
Okay. The last issue, he destroyed the three sleeper things. Which
you didn't like it?
No. But... he destroyed it, blows up, and he's falling down to his death, or his apparent death.
Right.
And
Captain America.
Yeah. Well, suddenly we go back to New York, where these people are looking at a demonstration of Inferno 42 going down with a little parachute on top of a model New York City, and it blows up.
Yeah.
And it says, "Well, we're going to hold New York City for ransom."
Okay.
Yep. So, back to Captain America, who is diving, and he still has a shield on him. And it's 500 feet in the air, he fell, and I think the shield would have killed him. That's him just smacking.
You mean the weight of it, or what do you mean?
Well, the impact of the shield hitting the water, which is like a brick wall of that.
Okay.
So, and
couldn't it protect him?
No. It would have smacked him.
Remember, it's a comic book, Jeff.
That's right, but still.
Okay.
I suppose be realistic. That's what Marvel is. We live in the real world, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but as we...
It's still a comic book.
I know, but as we address all the science-y things, they often don't make any kind of sense at all. So.
All right, he gets knocked out, and he's rescued.
By some Navy guys.
I think they're just sailors.
Oh, sailors, naval officers, whatever.
Okay. So,
they work in a boat.
Okay. It goes back to Tony Stark's...
the Avengers Mansion.
Yeah. And thinking about his past and thinks about Bucky and Sergeant Duffy. Why hasn't he looked up Sergeant Duffy?
I don't know. Maybe Sergeant Duffy died in the war.
No, he doesn't know.
Well,
Wouldn't you find out?
Maybe, but is that really an interesting, exciting Captain America storyline? Let's look up, somebody that I knew in the war.
Well, it could be. Actually, it's a plot line of what's coming next.
Okay.
Of finding people, and then this unnamed girlfriend he made in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets up and changes clothes, goes into Mufti, and he's got the coolest hat. Look at that. That is just awesome.
What kind of hat is that? Is that like the hat? Is that the kind of hat Judge Smales had in Caddyshack?
No. Although I love that hat.
You know the one where Rodney Dangerfield's like, "Oh, but with that hat, they give you a free bowl of soup."
Yeah, that was great. I think it's just a Bromberg. I'm not sure.
Okay.
He notices this chick.
I'll ask my local haberdasher about it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She's carrying a cylinder, and she's acting like it's the most important thing in the world. And it almost is.
Yeah, so she drops it, and another guy with a similar package pulls a whole switcheroo.
Yeah.
They did this on purpose, though. But Cap notices it.
Yeah, and he doesn't know that it's on purpose.
Yeah.
So he gets an argument with the lady. And then here comes our favorite cheese-eating surrender monkey, Batroc.
I love Batroc the Leaper. He's great.
Is it Batroc?
Batroc. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I hated him before, but I kind of like him now.
He's so goofy, but he's so serious about, like, being Batroc. Like, he's so over the top.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what the French think.
I don't know. This would be the first time you cared about what the French think.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he's got a big, like, twirly mustache and a goatee, and he says stuff like "Zut alors," all the time.
Non de champ.
Mon ami, mon chéri.
Yeah.
But, Batroc is like a supervillain for hire, and he's a master of savate, the art of boxing with the feet.
Oh, God, it's the most absurdly ludicrous contact sport of all time. Oh, my God. It is just goofy.
This is the first appearance of Batroc.
Yeah. Okay.
But man, I love him. I shouldn't, but I do.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Batroc and then tries to take the cylinder. And here comes Captain America, and they get into a great fight.
I think Batroc visually against Captain America is really great because he's really acrobatic and stuff, like Cap.
That's kind of what I liked about it. It's very, and here's Kirby at his best.
Well, yeah, I think it's a great idea to have this guy because, like, Zemo and the Red Skull are not exactly great fighting men.
No.
They're just great evil guys.
Right.
So having a guy that, gets into fist fights and kick fights with Captain America is great.
Is this the first villain for Captain America?
As far as in this context, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it is his first new solo villain. This is his first addition to his rogues gallery.
Who will come back or something.
Yeah, I mean, Zemo they retconned him into his rogues gallery. He was not a 1940s era villain, but they invented a history for him. So, but this is the first one after Zemo.
Okay. Oh, really cool fight, and then they get together because she's running off with the cylinder, and
it's kind of broken, and so it will become radioactive and explode. So they have to team up and track it down. Now Batroc is going to get paid upon delivery of the cylinder, but they both have to find it.
Right.
So they're going to team up and find it together, and then fight it out over that stuff, which is great. So on to the next issue, which is Tales of Suspense number 76, cover dated April of 1966, cover art by pencils by Jack Kirby and inked by John Romita. And the story inside is called The Gladiator, the Girl, and the Glory, written by Stan Lee, penciled and inked by John Romita.
Great cover.
With Batroc just swinging and kicking Captain America, of course.
On his shield.
Yeah.
And
there's a crowd of spectators around. It's great.
And the unnamed girl, who I think we forgot to mention, she was thinking about Steve Rogers.
Yeah, because was it her sister or her aunt?
Her aunt.
Okay, kept mentioning this guy she knew from World War II. This is Sharon Carter.
Right.
The niece of Peggy Carter.
Yeah. It is not mentioned. And it will not be mentioned
for a while.
For this whole episode we're doing
today.
The women
story
are anonymous.
Yeah. And I like it. It's adding an element of mystery, sowing seeds of... This is a subplot that will carry on through these very episodic, 2-part whatever arcs that are kind of cool. And I think that's a good format to play with in comics. I wish there was more like that these days. But whatever.
I hate it when in movies or anything make everything obvious, and or I like it when someone is mentioned and not introduced until later, and they're not a disappointment.
Yeah.
There's a few movies that do that.
In Chris Claremont's run on the X-Men in the 70s and the 80s, he would introduce like characters that seem minor and incidental, and then they'll become like a big deal later. Like he's really would play a long game, and I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay. So they follow the girl,
and she goes in through like a secret passageway that's like a brick hidden behind a brick wall or a facade of a brick wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she is collapsing
because the cylinder is cracked and it's radioactive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a trap and they fall down, and Batroc is falling down, but Captain America holds on, and they bicker a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, we go back to the mysterious evildoers who are...
We're always cloaked in shadow.
Mm-hmm.
I think these are agents of them, which will be revealed as AIM.
Right.
So.
Okay. Let's see. Captain talks to the girl, and she tells him it's Inferno 42.
And it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, Batroc, being French, changes sides and seizes the cylinder. Okay.
Well, they knew their team up was only temporary. It was just till they found it,
right.
And then they were going to fight it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because Batroc wants to get paid. He was paid to retrieve it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, some cool fight scenes, but it's a Kirby. So
yeah, no, it's not Kirby. This is John Romita.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you are correct. Oh, it was Kirby in the last bit. So.
Well, Kirby did the layouts on the last one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So
I think Inferno 42 was designed by S.H.I.E.L.D. and then stolen by AIM is what's going on here.
Okay.
I think that's right.
Yeah. All right. So Batroc comes. He wants to get his money, and it's about to blow up. So and finally they put the cylinder into a protective covering that stops the
chain reaction. Yeah. So that's good.
All right, then Captain America shows up because he followed Batroc, and another fight ensues. He lets the bad guys go and fights Batroc. And a nice big battle. It's pretty cool.
We don't know why Cap let the bad guys get away just yet, but that's revealed here in the very end.
And somehow, and I don't know how, but he beats Batroc.
Yeah.
And who escapes, well, to fight again.
Yeah.
And Captain America's, I gotta figure out what happened to the girl. And she's being taken to a ambulance. We find out that somehow, I didn't notice it, but the cylinder was switched.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the bad guys got the worthless cylinder.
Right.
And the good guys got
that's why Cap let them get away with the worthless cylinder, and he, okay. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
In the confusion of the fight with Batroc.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I enjoy Batroc. He's so fun because he and Captain America fight, time and again.
Mm-hmm.
But then he has this respect for Captain America as a fighting man because Batroc's all about, combat and I don't know. There's a sense of honor that he has that he's into about it. And so even though they're constantly or frequently at odds and enemies, he kind of likes Captain America.
Yeah. I never see him using Savate. Savate is boxing with your feet.
Yeah.
So, and you box and also you kick. And he leaps normally. I don't see many kicks. So,
yeah, well, I see him do a lot of flying leaps and then do that two-footed kick,
Yeah.
But
that's in Savate because that doesn't work in real life.
Right. So. But anyway, let's talk about this next issue. It's Tales of Suspense number 77, cover dated May of 1966. Cover art penciled by Gene Colan and inked by Jack Abel, and it's the Iron Man cover. And Iron Man looks like he's about to get it handed to him by Ultimo.
Mm-hmm. I think they're in communist China or something.
Probably. Let's see. But our story is going to be called If a Hostage Should Die, written by Stan Lee, with pencil layouts by Jack Kirby, and then the finished pencils by John Romita, and inked by Frank Giacoia.
Okay. Steve is watching a documentary of himself beating up the good people of Gestapo headquarters in Paris. And he says, then they ask, why is he so worried? And you find out later why.
Yeah, because he's been fighting all these Nazis, and people are like hoisting over their shoulders, like, yay, we've liberated Paris. But Cap is not looking in a celebrated mood. He really wants to get away. And we'll learn why.
Mm-hmm. So he's looking at this girl who he last saw 20 years ago, and we still don't know her name.
Right.
And he hasn't tried to look for it.
Right.
Well, actually, all right. Sergeant Duffy wouldn't go seeking Captain America because he doesn't know he knows Captain America.
Right.
But this girl should. Hey, Cap, you know.
Right. Peggy is still living.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be a further development.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Okay. So we get a flashback to World War II.
To the big one.
Yeah. And talking about the Battle of Falaise Gap, which is right after Normandy. The Germans were told by Hitler to attack, and they failed. And the Allied armies were enveloping them.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, they started retreating, and most of them, I think they lost about 400,000 men and most of their equipment, which is why France was so easy to take afterwards.
Oh, okay.
They would have took more, except Monty was being slow. So,
Montgomery.
General Montgomery.
Yeah. What was his first name?
Bernard.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, so here's some partisans that are trying to stop some Germans from retreating. And comes Captain America, and he starts beating them up and makes them surrender.
Yay!
Yeah. And we see some Germans saying, "Oh, why are we fighting this lost cause? We're stupid to listen to that dumb Hitler."
Yeah, and so Cap after the fight, Cap has a tender moment with Peggy, and I gotta say, John Romita, one of his greatest strengths is just drawing beautiful girls.
Yep.
He did great in romance comics. Obviously, he's one of the bigger reasons that Spider-Man as a soap opera book became such a big hit. You know, the Mary Jane and Gwen Stacy, these gorgeous gals. And he's doing great here.
Mm-hmm. Well, they get an argument because they're going to try to liberate Paris, and the girl is going to go by herself into Paris. And Steve doesn't like that. Right.
And he's got another mission he's got to carry out, and he is like exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't slept in a couple of days.
Okay. Well, the girl gets herself captured by the Gestapo, of course.
Yeah.
And she's about to be executed. Well, she's being tortured, and nothing works, so they're just going to kill her. And then, nick of time, the Allies attack Paris, and they get hit by an artillery shell.
I think she gets away, but gets amnesia and is lost.
That's at the end of the book. So.
Yeah.
Or end of the story.
Sorry.
And Cap comes and beats up all the Gestapo, wanting to know where she is. And they say there's a shell hit, and they didn't see anything else of her.
Ooh, maybe the amnesia is why she hasn't sought out Cap. Maybe it was long term.
Yeah, but we found out last issue that the young girl was talking to her.
Oh, right. So we know at least at some point her memory has resurfaced. Mm-hmm. Okay, good point.
So we see her with amnesia, but you would think that she would have an English accent or something, and the French would say, "Oh, this English girl must be a spy for the Americans or the Allies, so let's send her back to headquarters or something. But
Yeah.
who knows? And Steve was thinking about, I never heard anything of her, and so he's sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
On to Tales of Suspense number 78. Cover dated June of 1966. Cover art penciled by Jack Kirby and inked by Frank Giacoia. What's happening on this cover? Cap and Nick Fury team up.
Yeah.
Against them, who are AIM.
Yeah. And actually, this is more two guys getting together, and the fight is okay, but I like seeing Nick and Steve together.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
We'll get to see that. Someday we'll do the essential Nick Fury and his Howling Commandos, and there's an issue of that where Cap in World War II teams up with Fury and the Howlers. So that'll be fun. But anyway, this story is called Them, which is really AIM.
That's confusing.
I know. I think that there's we need to call it something better than Them.
I think there was a big grasshopper movie called Them.
Giant Ants.
Giant
Ants? Great movie.
Is it?
Love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be from the 50s. So it would be in the memory then at this time. But anyway, this was co-plotted by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, dialogued by Lee, and the art penciled by Kirby and inked by Frank Giacoia.
Okay. We're at the Avengers headquarters, and
Captain America is training.
Yeah. With these what are they called? They're shock rollers.
Yeah.
These little balls that you're supposed to run away from and dodge.
Yeah.
Because they're...
And if they hit you, they shock you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Cap's training, and that's cool.
Yeah.
And Nick Fury just kind of
what's going on here?
Yeah.
All right, so they look at a little brain that's from them, and the gizmo, if dropped in a hydroponic tank of chemicals, it would grow into a huge real brain.
Now, why did Nick Fury bring up this little brain thing? Because I don't think it's referenced again.
Maybe it's foreshadowing. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm making a total guess.
Oh, okay. Maybe it has something to do with MODOK.
I don't know.
Because if they're genetically engineering brains or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be it. But anyway.
All right. A super cool ship lands, and people start running away, and here comes this android.
Right.
But it's
humanoid in form.
Yes, Kirby-rific.
Yes, it is.
So apparently he's got these chemicals on him, and he can walk, and he can turn his composition to all kinds of things. Like he can turn his composition to acid and walk through the wall, which he does. And he breaks in on Nick and Steve.
So what is the android's mission? Is it to assassinate Captain America and Nick Fury?
I don't know. Okay, so I guess. So.
Okay, I mean, good enough, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they fight, and it is very hard to kill. So they try to freezing him. That doesn't work. Nick gives him a karate chop, and it hurts his hand. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
The shield doesn't work, and the monster uses gas and knocks out
Captain America.
No, he doesn't knock him out, but he can't breathe.
Yeah, he stuns him then, basically.
And now we see that them is looking at the fight.
Right. Because, of course, if you build an android, of course you're going to have cameras and watching through its eyes. Right. That's cool. We get to see them in their great beekeeper costumes.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah.
I like AIM.
Well, the beekeeper costumes I think are stupid, but oh well.
But if you see them in person, they're great.
Okay.
There's at every Comic-Con, and at least in Portland, there's this group that cosplay as AIM agents in the beekeeper suits, and they look great.
Wow.
And they have a big statue of MODOK that they have, it's like a booth of theirs, and they're just ready to pose with photos with people.
That is super cool.
It is super cool.
All right. Well, they're trying to kill Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And we see them growing more monsters.
Androids.
So they're still fighting, and nothing seems to work. Now the android is using electricity
To do what?
To try to kill Steve, I guess.
Okay.
And Steve is worried that he's going to change into uranium-235 and destroy the whole city.
Oh, man.
So Nick grabs him from behind and gives him a knockout drop.
Okay.
And it works.
Yeah.
And then the android disappears, or he dissolves.
Oh, wait. And so then at the end, we revealed the Cosmic Cube. Nick asks Cap to join S.H.I.E.L.D., and Cap says no, but he gives him... sorry, I'm wrong about the Cosmic Cube.
Yeah, okay.
He gives him this badge that gives him access to...
Priority A1.
Access to S.H.I.E.L.D. Sorry, from over here, looking at his hand with the glowing thing, I was thinking it was the Cosmic Cube. But that's introduced in a story we'll talk about today.
Yeah. Nick wants Cap to join, but he knows Cap doesn't want to because he has joined the Avengers, so
yeah,
it'd be kind of crappy and very Frenchy to switch hard.
Really? Well, it's not like he couldn't pull double duty.
Yeah, he probably does. But.
Yeah, I think nowadays, definitely. But at this point, like, it makes sense for Cap to say no.
Yeah. That's a really great scene, though, and respect between them.
They have this history. They fought in the big one together, So I like it. I always enjoy Cap and Nick Fury together. But let's talk about Tales of Suspense number 79. This is cover dated July of 1966. Cover art penciled by Gene Colan and inked by Jack Abel, and it's an Iron Man cover. And Iron Man, it looks like he's about to get it handed to him by Prince Namor, the Submariner.
Yeah. Disaster.
So, awesome.
Namor is ticked off.
He tends to be.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, I think, in one of our last episodes, he's kind of a prickly guy.
Yeah.
But our Cap story is called The Red Skull Lives. Co-plotted by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Penciled by Kirby and inked by Frank Giacoia. So we open up in the splash page as Cap fighting a bunch of guys.
Yep.
Yay!
Yeah. And,
I think
he's fighting them, but everyone's ignoring them. Right. There's no bystanders or paying attention whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so the bad guys run, and the cops come because they hear a shot and says, "What's going on? Are you going crazy?" And everyone thinks Cap is losing his mind.
Yeah, and the cop's sympathetic, like, "Why don't you, go get some rest, Cap? Maybe visit the doctor,
Yeah.
So weird.
Let's see.
A
cool spaceship, and it has 2 Krauts in it.
Yeah.
And Wolfgang and somebody else.
The other guy. Horst.
And who should come in? But it's a Red Skull.
He's not dead.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know why they did it, but I wish they had not told us the Red Skull was going to be in it. That'd be a nice surprise.
I know, but
they want to sell issues. So.
Yeah, so if you say, like, the next issue, the Red Skull returns, wow, definitely going to get that one. But, it would be great if, there was no mention on the cover or in the previous issue or in the title, and you're just like, oh, the Red Skull!
All right.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. It's really, the Red Skull is wearing a smoking jacket and a cravat, and it's just wonderful.
And he's got the long cigarette holder, and he's blowing smoke rings, and he's
And he chews out Horst for not shaving. Who cares?
Right. The Red Skull, apparently.
Yeah. Okay, and here's Red Skull blowing smoke rings and thinking about World War II. All right, we last saw Red Skull underneath a bunch of rubble because he was bombed by the Allied Air Forces. And find out that him and 2 of his henchmen had this gas that allowed them to have suspended animation.
Yeah, so the Red Skull, this is great because the Red Skull hasn't aged in these last 20 years. So that's really good. So it's not Captain America fighting like a guy who's 50 years old.
Right.
Wheezing the entire time,
So he is saved by them.
Who are AIM?
Yeah. Or who will be.
Yeah.
Or I think they said it's a part of AIM, and then they just ignored them from then on.
Yeah, because it's awkward.
Mm-hmm. So Cap goes to a psychiatrist, and they're talking, and then he's attacked. And the psychiatrist does not see the attacker, but the guy's shooting guns and all this stuff. And
Yeah.
so Cap is kind of worried that he's going crazy.
Yeah. Back at the Red Skull's headquarters.
Man, if somebody's riding a cool skycopter or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome. Now it looks like Horst, and he still hasn't shaved. No.
Yeah. So anyway.
Okay. So they're going to. Okay. They explain there's a hypno helmet, and they're going to hypnotize Captain America.
That's probably what they've been doing.
And then they're going to have him kill somebody. Or Horst is going to kill somebody, and then put the gun in Captain America's head. And since everyone's seen that Captain America is going crazy, they'll understand that he's insane. So they'll put him in, a happy factory.
Right, and so, how triumphant for the Red Skull because his greatest enemy is in the funny farm and out of the way so he can commit his acts of evil.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does.
Yep. Okay.
So now we have a scene with our favorite beekeepers in the Marvel Universe, Advanced Idea Mechanics, and they have built the Cosmic Cube. It's the pinnacle of their science. They create a thing that basically can... How did you describe it in your notes? It can turns thought into reality.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And did they make it?
Yeah. They made it.
I guess so. All right. In the movies, it's not.
I know. In the movies, it's different.
Yeah. Okay.
In the movies, it's like a magic thing.
Yeah.
From beyond space and time.
Right. And, okay, here it goes again. Captain America is reading the newspaper. Everyone's saying he's crazy. This veteran comes up, say, I saw you in war, and you're really great, so I believe you. So, and then here comes a guy.
I think it's Horst with the hypno helmet.
Yeah.
And he kills that guy and makes it look like Cap did it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty messed up, man.
No, I don't think he does.
Okay.
I think Cap beats the crap out of him first.
Okay.
And then he gets the helmet and says, aha, this is what caused it. Cap has something in his cap.
Yeah.
A planted circuit that would jam any hypnotic wave.
Okay.
So that's right. So
so did he have that beforehand, and maybe they were using the hypno waves on him, and that's why he was hallucinating?
Well, they weren't.
That's really confusing to me.
No. He wasn't hallucinating. Everybody else was.
Oh, okay. They were hallucinating that they didn't see all the stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Cap, I think they had that put in there, so you're thinking they may be being hypnotized. So he guessed right.
That's a good plan. Okay. Now it all makes sense. And on to Tales...
Does it?
Well,
yeah.
Sort of. On to Tales of Suspense number 80. Is that right? Yes. Cover dated August of 1966. Cover art penciled by Jack Kirby and inked by Don Heck. And the story is called He Who Holds the Cosmic Cube. Co-plotted by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Penciled by Kirby, inked by Don Heck.
Yeah, cool cover.
Oh, yeah.
Red Skull, Captain America. What more do you want?
Not much.
Yeah. Okay. Captain America is in town, and there's an explosion in the air. An airplane is being blown up, and a capsule comes out. Captain America follows the capsule into the water.
Yeah. I think he knows that there's somebody, or gets the impression that there's somebody in there, so he wants to make sure rescue them.
And he knows it's an AIM capsule because it's marked AIM in big letters.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. So he saves the guy, and he says he's trying to stop the Red Skull, Because
the guy from AIM?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, because the Red Skull is going to steal the Cosmic Cube, right?
Right.
AIM are not good guys, but, comparatively speaking.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. So the Red Skull is getting away with the Cosmic Cube. He has this thing. He shakes hands with somebody, and he's explaining to Wolfgang, and by shaking hands, gives him this little transceiver or transistor or something or other.
Okay.
And it makes him his slave.
Oh, okay.
Which happens to Wolfgang.
So it's like he injected him with a nanobite that allowed him to control him?
Right.
Although this is before nanobites or nanotechnology is part of the common vernacular, but it's that kind of concept. Okay.
So then, Wolfgang says, "Hey, we won." And he says, "Are you equating you with me?"
The skull,
So the Red Skull hypnotizes Wolfgang and makes him commit suicide because he equated himself with the Red Skull, and he wore a garish Hawaiian shirt.
Right. Is that the Hawaiian shirt didn't really have anything to do with it, did it?
No.
Okay.
That was what we call in show business a witticism.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I'm
a little slow.
Yeah.
But I love it. No one can be my equal, so you must die. Right. Love it.
Yeah. Oh,
and he just calmly walks out of the room while the guy blows himself up, lights a cigarette like it's no big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. What does Red Skull say? It says, "I, who am the Prince of Villainy, serve none." Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty awesome.
And while the guy commits suicide, he smells his flower on his smoking jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be hard to recruit people.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, for crying out loud, it's just an expression. So he said, "Watch it," and it's like, "Okay, boss," and that'll be the end of it. But
I think the point is they want to show the extremity of how evil they are,
and that's a way to show how evil it goes.
A good guy like Captain America would be like, "Hey, mister, how about a little respect?" And like, "Oh, sorry, sir," and that'd be the end of it. The Red Skull, nope, you're dead.
And he's not killing an innocent person.
No.
Wolfgang probably should have been shot anyway by the good guys. If he killed an innocent 5-year-old boy or something like that, that'd be so heinous that it would kind of shock everybody. And it kind of... But henchmen, we don't really care if they live or die.
No. They're very expendable.
Mm-hmm.
But also being cruel to your henchmen is always a good villain trope to mine.
Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. So, using the Priority A1 badge that he got last issue.
Yeah.
Captain America gets on a super fast missile and jumps onto the AIM plane and goes in and fights with the AIM pilot.
Yeah.
And this is the plane with the Cosmic Cube.
Right.
So they fight and they go to an island and they jump out. And Red Skull's waiting for them and says, "Oh, it's Captain America." So it's a big fat fight. And so we have a discussion between Captain America and Red Skull. Oh, and they insult each other and they fight.
That's great.
Yeah. So, and they fight. And they fight.
Yeah.
So, Red Skull's got some gizmos. He says that he's talking about his face being a mask. And it is a mask, or is it?
It's a mask.
Yeah, that's attached permanently, or?
No, you can take it off.
Man, I'd take it off all the time. So, he knocks out Captain America and gets the Cosmic Cube.
And, of course, he immediately uses it to make the AIM agents disappear to another dimension or something.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, we know that this Red Skull holds this object of ultimate power. And it's going to be continued next issue. What are we going to do? How's Cap going to defeat the Skull with this incredible power?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Okay.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, on to Tales of Suspense number 81.
Mm-hmm.
Cover dated September of 1966. Cover art penciled by Gene Colan and inked by Jack Abel. And, of course, it's Iron Man cover with Iron Man and the return of the Titanium Man.
It's pretty cool. The Titanium Man's being worked on, and there's a thing, mission, destroy Iron Man, little plaque. So,
yeah. Titanium Man is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see. So this story is called The Red Skull Supreme. Co-plotted by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Penciled by Jack Kirby and inked by Frank Giacoia.
Okay. Alright, so Red Skull is monologuing.
Yeah.
And then Captain America jumps from behind and tries to grab the Cosmic Cube, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And Red Skull seems to know how to use the Cosmic Cube from the get-go.
Well, it's just it's wish fulfillment. Anything you can think, you can make happen.
Yeah.
Make a reality.
So he blasts.
It's very user friendly.
Yeah. Okay. I really like this. Red Skull is thinking about, I'll be king of the world with this, and you see him on the throne with a cool throne, with robes and a huge crown.
Yeah.
And he's giving out orders, and he's making people fight, and making huge weapons.
He's got plans to conquer not just the Earth, but other worlds, which is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
He's got no lack of ambition. I like that about the Red Skull.
If he wasn't so evil, it'd be an interesting run of someone using Cosmic Cube to just do that. And it'd make a great mini-series of comics or something like that, of someone taking command and all that stuff. But they don't have to be totally evil like this, but they can just be mildly ambitious with the Cosmic Cube.
But what if it would be an interesting story to like someone whose intentions were good and then that absolute power corrupted them? Mm-hmm. That would be cool.
Yeah, actually, I would like to read if Red Skull did get the Cosmic Cube and took over and see what happened. I think that'd be interesting too. So
yeah.
Okay, so Red Skull sees Captain America getting up, so he makes this monster or dude or man thing.
Yeah, and, so it's not really alive, but it's a creature.
Yeah, so big fight there.
Yeah, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So Captain America wins, but because Red Skull does not want his creature being defeated by him, so he disappears him.
Yeah.
What is Red Skull, about 8 years old or something like that?
The ego on this guy is he's all ego. That's really what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Yeah. All right. So Captain America is bowed down. I don't know from fatigue or actually literally bowing down for Red Skull. And Red Skull thinks, I'm going to make myself a Knights of the Round Table.
Of evil.
Yeah.
And he's going to make Captain, and he's going to say, I'll spare your life, Captain America, but you're going to be my servant.
Mm-hmm.
And Cap says, okay, but it's part of it. It's a foolie.
Yeah. Red Skull gets a golden armor set.
For himself.
And looks really cool.
Yeah.
The matchless master of mankind.
So Cap says, I'll serve you, and he kneels before him. But then he uses it to, get the Skull to put his guard down, and then he fights him, and Skull drops the cube.
Yeah, or I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Why is there a problem? Why doesn't this use the cube? Because he still has the cube in his hand. He's fighting. Captain America's got him by the hand, and I guess Red Skull gets mad and let the whole island go asunder.
Yeah.
And then they go into the water.
Right.
And then Red Skull drops the cube.
Right.
Why didn't he just wish Captain America away? And then goodbye. And
I think, because he just got the thing. Even though it's very, it does whatever you tell it, you're still not, fully oriented to it, and, I think...
He did that with the pilot, though.
Yeah, but also...
Another dimension.
Right.
But then again, it's comic book, so...
And if somebody's punching you and stuff, are you able to like stop and think and like come up with a really good plan right there?
Captain America can. So,
Well,
but I guess Red Skull always makes the wrong decisions. He's his own worst enemy.
yeah.
All right, so the cube goes down into the water, and Red Skull goes down because he still has his golden armor on, and it sinks him to the bottom of the sea.
I think it's interesting that things that you create with the cube, they still exist after you no longer possess it.
That is interesting.
I like that. Like he's not holding the cube and the island is still, falling apart. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like it only lasts while you're thinking about it.
Right.
I think that's
makes
cool.
it better.
It really does.
I would like to have one. And,
yes.
Yeah. So Red Skull sinks to the bottom of the ocean. We'll never see him again. And the Cosmic Cube goes down to the bottom of the ocean. We'll never see that again.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But on to Tales of Suspense number 82. Cover dated October of 1966. Cover art penciled by Jack Kirby and inked by Frank Giacoia. Let's look at that cover for a second.
Oh.
And it's, of course, we see Cap fighting, well, like just visions of all his enemies of the past, and a shadowy figure in a dark hallway, which is really neat.
Yeah.
And this story is called, I love the title, it's The Maddening Mystery of the Inconceivable Adaptoid.
Oh, man. Okay.
Which is really awesome and really silly at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But this was written by Stan Lee, penciled by Jack Kirby, and inked by Frank Giacoia. And the splash panel, we see Cap and Bucky fighting in World War II again. It's Cap looking through a scrapbook again.
Yeah, and Jarvis is bringing tea.
Of course he is. Of
And,
course!
Or is it coffee? Yeah, it's coffee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Captain America, he drinks coffee.
Probably.
He doesn't stick out his pinky and drink tea. That's a British thing.
Okay.
Is there a Captain Britain?
There is.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm sure he drinks tea, but I don't know about the pinky thing.
James Bond doesn't drink tea.
No?
No, he doesn't like it.
He likes martinis, shaken, not stirred.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But,
okay.
yeah, there's a Captain Britain.
Yeah, Cap is bored. And all of a sudden he sees someone attacking him.
And it's Agent Axis, one of his enemies from WW2.
Right, and then he sees Fang the Warlord, who died at Hiroshima.
Yeah.
And
So he knows he's seeing things.
Yeah, and then he's in a car with Bucky. And they fight against two, let's see, it looks like German motorcyclists.
Yeah.
And then he sees Sergeant Duffy.
Yeah.
And then he sees Pietro and the Scarlet Witch.
Okay, so he knows he's snapped out of it. Or they come along. They're in the Avengers Mansion. They're Avengers. They see that he's having
They're not Avengers now.
Oh, or is it they've taken a leave of absence or something like that? They happen to be there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But at any rate, they see he's having a fit or a spell or something and try to help him up.
Yeah.
Jarvis carries
But then he disappears. They disappear.
Yeah.
And it's Jarvis, and Jarvis picks him up, which, wow, hey, Jarvis is quite a man. I thought it was kind of a fop, but oh well. Oh, we go to...
Good old Jarvis.
Mm-hmm. We go to another place. They're digging out this rubble, and they find... Let's see.
Now, is this current time or a flashback?
Looks like current time.
Yeah, I think flashbacks tend to have like the borders are rounded or like they look kind of like foggy.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Rounded or cloud-like.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Well, there's a casket, but it looks like it resembles a life model decoy, which they use as shield.
Yeah, yeah.
And they found this guy, Baron Royale.
Okay.
And he's saying that the Adaptoid will win the final victory.
Uh-oh. And so...
And Jarvis takes Captain America to bed. And we find out that Jarvis is the Adaptoid.
Oh man, so man, up is down and everything else. We don't know what's going on. So what was Cap dreaming? Was he hallucinating? All kinds of things, but he's definitely the captive of the Adaptoid.
Jarvis, or the Adaptoid, gave him a hypno thingamabob.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the Adaptoid can appear as anyone and take on their abilities and such. Also, that's probably why.
A hypno sedative.
Also, it's because his Adaptoid is an android. It's probably why he was carrying Cap so easily.
Right. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of cool. That was cool.
Yeah, maybe that should have been a thing. Like, wait, Jarvis is just carrying Captain America? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Captain America's a big dude, 6 foot tall, and
he's probably like 200 pounds.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And he wasn't straining or anything. So,
No.
So.
Good point.
So now, Captain America is actually the Adaptoid. What's going to happen?
Oh, we'll find out in 2 weeks.
Yep. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed those.
No, these were a really exciting batch of stories. This was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think this series is really hitting its stride. So
I think so too. And speaking of stride, we'll see you in the funny pages.